Hi, everyone. Welcome. Well, happy Monday. Hope you guys are having a great day. Welcome to Facts and Two Cents. This is Petal. I am so happy you guys are here, that it is a beautiful day. Hope it's a beautiful day wherever you are. We are Facts and Two Cents. As you know, we are a channel that supports the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Harry, Meghan, Big Boy Archie, Baby Lily, Mama Doria, Pula Guy, the chickens, all of us at the Invictus, the Invictus community, and all of us here at Sussex Squad. We are all big, happy, dysfunctional, crazy, loving, giving, generous, all of those wonderful and crazy descriptions, all the ways you can describe us. But I don't think we'll have it any other way. We love us just the way we are. But welcome to Facts and Two Cents, guys. How are you all doing as I lower this music, get it out of the way? I'm going to jump into chat there for a second and see how we are all doing. Hello, guys. I see Lydia here. Our awesome moderator, Lydia. I'm going to scroll all the way at the top and say hello to everyone. Thank you, Lydia. And John is here. And let's scroll on down. Oh, my goodness, Lydia. I haven't even started yet. Thank you so much for your super sticker. Lydia is also one of our awesome 2 Cents Crew members. And then she's always supporting this way as well. Thank you so much, Lydia, for being an awesome moderator as well. Thank you, Church Nelly, our awesome moderator, and marvelous Monday to you too, Church Nelly, and all our wonderful squaddies out there in South Carolina. And who else do we have in the chat today? Jennifer is here, and Karen M., our awesome other moderator, is here. Thank you so much, Karen M., and Dory, and Margaret, and Black Queen. And Joyce is here. I see myself in the chat. Hello, me. I was like, post me there. Don't mind me, I'm just being silly. Kate Costello is here, and Rosa, and Fancy, and Vatty is here. Emerald, hello, Emerald. Saying hello to all the squaddies over there. Hello, Emerald. Carolyn is here. Annie also saying hello to everyone. Hazel and Rosa and Julia Rock. Our other moderator is here. Hey, Julia Rock. How are you doing? Welcome. Let's see. Elaine Parker is here. Elaine is like, hey, from the UK. Hey, Elaine, and Alma is here. Hazel. Kenneth is here saying hello to everybody. Kenitha is here. And Carolyn, I said Carolyn before. I've said Carolyn before. Lorna is here, and Wendy Lohman is here. Legs is here. Hey, Legs. Let's see who else is. Elizabeth and Margaret and Denise. Oh my goodness. Oh, my favorite people are here. And I'm sure more of our faves are going to be coming in. Mercedes is here. Hello, Mercedes. And Karen Warner, other Karen is here. And Rick is here. And Faith, Joan. Man, all our faves are here. Robin's hanging out in Rome. Robin's here. Buen Ferragusto. I don't know what that meant. I'm assuming is good morning. I don't know. Tell us, Robert, what does it mean? Fettle and fellow squaddies joining in from Rome at 17:30 in the wine bar. Hey, Martinelli's as usual, Robert. Have a glass for me. It's like Italy is officially closed and now on vacation through mid-September. I need to move to Italy, man. I love that. Love the lifestyle there. Let's see. Black Queen, Compton, Caligal. Oh, I love. I know Compton, Caligal, you live, I think you said you live, 6 blocks from where Serena and Venus used to train. I just love that so much. And all our friends, 1998 champions. Who was that? 1998 champions. Who are you referring to? that were champions? I'd love to know. I don't know about that far. I'm assuming it's sports team, and I don't know which team you're referring to. So let us know, 1998 champions. But good morning, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Well, a lot's been happening for I think the first time in like the last 3-4 weeks. I'm not saying our faves is hanging out under a tree. Well, they may still be hanging out under a tree, but they're not quiet at the moment. So so I think for the first time in a long time, I can't say they're quiet because you know how they said, do not look at your phone first thing in the morning, whatever. And when you wake up, if you want to be productive, you gotta get up with some positive, energy, and be reading something positive, workout, and all of that stuff. And when you've done all of that stuff, then go look at social media. Well, I sort of blocked all of that. And this morning, not to be too TMI, you get up like 3 and 4 in the morning. It's like, I need to go to the bathroom. I run off to the bathroom and come back. I should have gone to sleep. I should have just, turned the light back off, go crawl back in bed and go to sleep. But no, what did I have to do at like 4 o'clock in the morning? I think it was. I think that's time it was. What did I have to do? No, I turned on my phone, to got on Twitter. Don't ask me why I was in Twitter at 4 o'clock in the morning, but I got on and this is what greeted me. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I hadn't been sleeping well the last few days. And so my goal of last night was to sleep, to have 8 hours. I was all psyched about it. Have 8 hours sleep uninterrupted. And then, of course, I went on social media, went on Twitter, and this is kind of what greeted me. Well, at least the PA news, the rest of that stuff, I guess, came later, the CNN and all of that. But BBC, Independent, and a bunch of others were all broadcasting this. But the first one I saw was the PA news. And I was like, oh, no, there goes my sleep. I'm never going back to sleep after this. I was, to tell you the truth, a bit surprised to see that news because I was really, I was set in we're not going to hear from them for the rest of the summer. They're just going to be hanging out under the tree being quiet. And I was totally fine with that. I was not expecting this news. I just thought they'd just let it go and just do, whatever. And then just be in California. And, I was expecting to hear from them at the end of summer. So again, because we don't control anything Harry and Meghan does, and they have their own plans in life, this is the news we got this morning. So I don't know. I mean, how did you guys hear the news and when? I'd love to know. I would absolutely love to know. And also, I'd love to know what you thought, what you think about the whole thing. Oh, wow, Calliston. Thank you so much. Cal is a new member, a 2 Cents Crew member. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome aboard. Aw, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your support. I appreciate it. We appreciate that, and we appreciate you. So thank you. Welcome to the 2 Cents Crew. This is your Montecito shout out, even though I'm in New York, but think of it as I'm in Montecito. So there. So welcome aboard, Cal. But anyways, yes. So I want to know, I mean, are you guys happy? Are you sad? Are you shocked? Are you whatever it was? I was surprised. I was surprised. Jessica said, this is really good news. Well, Jessica is happy. Jessica is very happy about it. So that's awesome. Let's see. I'm gonna scroll through the chat and see if and see what you guys think. If anybody, I mean, let me know. I'd just love to have your take on getting the news. Mercedes, okay, Mercedes said it's bittersweet news. I understand that too. And if you want to share why it's bittersweet news, I'd love to hear that too. Black Queen says, I saw it somewhere yesterday, but I wasn't sure it was real. Oh, where did you see this yesterday? Let me know if this is what you're talking about. Let me know what you think. where you saw it yesterday, because I mean, I only heard about it today, and it became breaking news today. So I'm not sure if this is what you're talking about, but if it is, let me know where you saw it. And yeah, Emerald, so true. Emerald says the Sussexes dance to the beat of their own drums. I love their positive spirit. Go get them, Sussexes. They sure do. They sure do march to the beat of their own drums. Yeah, and that's the thing that I think especially the British press and the royal family hate so much, because they're used to controlling people. They're used to controlling the members of their family and used to controlling the narrative. Well, the narrative, especially the British press, they're used to controlling what people do, when they do it, how they do it, and all of that stuff. And now they just have to wait like the rest of us and wait to be told what's going to happen. They have no control over any of this. And it's like, they don't like this. They like to drive the narrative, you know? So Jessica says, I saw it on Twitter this morning. I was looking for info about the HBO Princess review. Then boom, there is this news. I'm telling you, that just sort of hit me over the head and woke me up there for a bit. Thankfully, I was able to go back to sleep. So thankfully, but you know, yeah, it was a boom. Lorna says, I pedal. I'm praying for them after what happened to S. Rushdie. Yes, I know. If you don't know what happened to Salman Rushdie a few days ago in New York, they had a convention of some kind, and I actually was watching The Princess yesterday with my friend, and she told me, and I hadn't read this, that it was a convention of people whose books have been banned or something. And so I don't know. I hadn't gone to research it, but that's what she had told me. So you can let me know if that's true or not. But my first thing is, where was security? You know, where, I mean, if you're going to have a convention or something about of people with books have been banned, you got to know that there are people that are not going to like them, you know, have some kind of vendetta or something. The first thing you would do is make sure you have security. You know, so I don't know what happened there, how that was allowed to happen, but Lord, I would think a few people are going to be sued and a few people are going to be I mean, you know, somebody's going to have to lose their job or something's going to happen there, because that was, yeah, that was crazy that was allowed to happen, you know? So yeah, craziness. Let me see who else is saying what in the chat. Lydia, hi Lydia, awesome moderator, says, very shocked. I'm happy but concerned about safety. And I think that's all of our concern, Lydia. That was the first thing for me as well. Safety, security. Now, I don't know if since the last time we had an update on the court case, if something has changed. And I don't know. But that was again, you know, talk about Salman Rushdie. That was the first thing that came to mind as well. You know, it's like, really? And so maybe something was worked out for that. So I don't know, unless the Sussexes tell us, since nobody in the UK know, and we all, you know, together are waiting for word from the Sussexes, or apparently the Queen is going to be in town around that time, apparently. Because I think Boris Johnson is leaving office on the 5th, I think. And then the Queen apparently will be back in London or Windsor to welcoming or usher in, I should say, the new Prime Minister, whether it's Liz Truss or Rishi Sunak. I think it's Rishi Sunak. Whichever one wins. So apparently she may be back for that, which is around the same time the Sussexes are going to be there. So who knows, maybe she's loaning them her security. I don't know. We don't know what the whole thing is. I mean, we know she did when they came for the Jubilee. So who knows what they have worked out. So it'll be very interesting to, you know, and so definitely I think we all are on the same page here, Lydia. We're all concerned, especially, especially the fact that we just saw, and that's been going on right now, the Princess documentary, which we'll talk about in a bit as well. Cal, hey Cal, our new 2 cents crew member. Cal says, I was wondering about Well Child. Harry is very loyal to them. Yes, he was, and he is. And actually, we remember last year he was there in the UK when he went. When they actually moved the time around to when Princess Diana's and the unveiling of a statue, so they actually moved the date to have it when he was there, so that he can be a part of the Well Child, you know, award ceremony, which is so important to him. And apparently that's the first thing he puts in his calendar. It's one of the most important events for him to so it's great that they both can be there. Let's see. Yes, Mercedes. Yes, she's like, we're very worried about security. Yep, we are very much so. Lex says, I don't like that they're going back to the UK, but they don't associate with any of the press, so they would not have access. And that's true. I mean, whatever, for all that we've known and what they've done to Harry and Meghan, nobody likes, I guess at least the people who support them like the idea of when they are in the UK. We are all like, I feel like collectively holding our breaths until we hear that they have left. I was like, all of Sussex squad is like, we can't breathe until they walk out of that country. We'll have a respite when they get there, I think, for a day, and then they're going to be in Germany doing, and we'll get to the dates and all of that stuff, because then they're going to go to Germany, and then they come back to the UK. So we'll breathe out a little bit when they get to Germany, and then breathe in and hold our breaths again when they're in the UK. I mean, it just, again, the one thing I could say, when you are a supporter of the Sussexes, you're never bored. They definitely keep you on your toes with whatever it is they're doing. So yeah. Dolores, hi Dolores. Dolores says the Sussexes speak and everyone listens. Absolutely. The others are like all whenever they're out and about, and it's like few people would be like, oh, okay, and then the Sussexes say something or do something and it's breaking news, they're coming. It's like unreal. But anyways, let's move on. Thank you guys for sharing, and we'll get back to the comments in a second. So Ahmed actually tweeted out about it as well, giving us sort of the breakdown of their schedule. And he says, Prince Harry and Duchess Meghan are coming to the UK and Germany to visit with several charities close to their hearts. And actually one of their Sussex spokesmen put out, I guess it's like a press release or whatever he sends out to the press. He or she, I think it's a she actually now, sends out to the press. And part of it was their schedule. It says they'll be in Manchester for the One Young World Summit on September 5th. Germany for the Invictus Games, the 1 year to go. And then on September 6th, they will be back in the UK for Well Child Awards on September 8th. So I'm assuming, they are going to be, obviously they have a home at Frogmore, so they'll be there. It'll be very interesting because now you know what's going to happen. We all know what the headlines are going to be for the next month. It's going to be, will they or won't they? Will Archie and Lilibet be in the UK to see their grandmother who's dying for like the 50 millionth time that they've put this woman on her death's door? Will they be there to visit great grandma, Queen Elizabeth? So it's the will they, won't they be coming? And, you'll have endless articles about that. Will they or won't they visit Charles and Camilla? Will they or won't they meet with, the others, the Cambridges? Will be, now apparently the Cambridges have now moved in to the cottage that's right there in Windsor Great Park. So they both are there. They both are in their cottages in Windsor Great Park. So it's the will they or won't they reconcile? Will those bridges be built? Will the olive branches come out? And you know how they have a palace that have all the olive branches and the bridges and all of those things. So all of those will be coming out. So expect millions of articles from the British press with all this nonsense. So it's just like, part of me felt like, oh gosh, maybe y'all could have waited until a few days before, because and when you're on Twitter, these are the things that's going to be coming across your feed all day long. Will they or won't they? Will they or won't they? So, but anyways, be prepared. Be prepared for this. So that's kind of their schedule. And so the charities are all excited about it. You know, One Young World tweeted out about it. We are delighted to announce that Meghan and Harry, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, will be attending the One Young World Summit in Manchester in September. The Duchess will be delivering a keynote address at the opening ceremony. And, a couple more tweets of theirs. It's like the Duke and Duchess will be meeting with a group of summit delegates doing outstanding work on gender equality. And the bottom tweet is the Duchess has been a proud OYW counselor since 2014. And we know that she's a counselor along with Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and all of those. We've seen pictures of them. And it says, One Young World invites young adults from over the world actively working to transform the socio-political landscape of landscape by being the greater good. They are the change. The Duchess of Sussex. I love how they always, different organizations always use her quotes, and I love that about what she says. It's like what she says just sort of transcends, and people just use it to inspire. But yeah, so Duchess Meghan is going to be delivering the keynote address, and it's so funny. Thinking about all the things that's, especially this summer, with all those horrible books and all the lies and all the malice that's been thrown at her. And the one thing you learn about Harry and Meghan is that they are just not afraid. And that again, they have so much courage. And they take so much courage. And I think that's one of the things, they always talk about courage is not the absence of fear, but acting in spite of fear and doing whatever you need to do in spite of the way, in spite of the fears that may come up, they act. And I love that about them. They are not afraid. They're just like, okay, there's a challenge. Okay, let's go jump right into it. I mean, we saw that in, when they went back to face and just face all the challenges, with the Jubilee and all the things that happened there. And we talked about what it would be like to go back and try to somehow have some kind of, not even if it's not relationship, but be in a space of people that cause you so much harm and cause you so much pain. And knowing those same people, really a lot of them will still wish you harm, and a lot of them are racist on top of that. What it's like, especially when they're family members. And so we saw what they did, and we saw whatever people's opinions are about what it was like when they went back. But it took a lot of courage to do that. And it's the same thing with this. For me, it's like, you think of that horrible man and that horrible book and all the stuff that, that's been said about all of those things. And to see Meghan, I'm telling you, when Tyler Perry talked about, the things that has been thrown at Meghan would have destroyed so many people. They would not want to be in a situation where, they would probably hide away for the rest of their life. And there she is with so much courage and so much strength. She's like, nope, I'm going right back there and I'm going to be keynote speaker. And it's like, and that is a thing when Princess Diana talked about the reason why the royal family, they wouldn't want her to be queen, is like she said, she's a non-starter for them because of her strength. They don't know what to do with someone like her. They didn't know what to do with someone, who is so strong and who, doesn't really need them, really. She doesn't, they are of the people that will control you. They're like, okay, when we come after you and destroy you, that means you're going down. And somebody like Meghan, who's like, okay, you can throw all your stuff at me. You can throw all your bullying charges. You can throw all your drama. You can throw all your lies and all the ways you try to destroy me. But you don't get to dictate my life. I say what's going to happen in my life. You don't get to do that. And I just love this kind of courage. And again, this doesn't mean that there's not fear there. Doesn't mean there's not trepidation. This doesn't mean that, there's not angst there. but is acting in spite of all of those things. And for me, I am just like, you go. And, like Harry said, he didn't, he couldn't imagine how his mother was able to live through all of that because she was alone. She didn't have anyone, but it's so good that these two are together and they're working as a team and they have each other for support. And I'm like, kudos to them, kudos to them to have this kind of courage to go back and say, no, you will not drive me out of my country. You'll not take away my security. I will fight you. I don't care if you're the government. I don't care if you're the royal family. I don't care if you're the Metropolitan Police. I don't care if you're the press. I will fight you. And the UK they're not used to people like this. They're used to people when they try to destroy and monster you, you die. Or you're so terrified you run away. They're not used to people fighting back. And that is why what Harry and Meghan are doing is so important. They're teaching people, no, you can stand up and you can fight back. And so I am just like, respect, major respect for these two for doing that. That said, with One Young World, I mean, and I'm glad that, again, the program of One Young World is so important, and they're working with young people from across the world to make and to impact change. And so the work and the program and what all of that is amazing. And I think that's why Meghan and so many other people are counselors there, because they are really training the next leaders. They are really counseling the next world leaders. And that's important. What the issue with my issue and a lot of squaddies issues with One Young World has nothing to do with the program itself and nothing to do with the people. As you can see, some of them, the picture on the left is when in 2019, one of, when Harry and Meghan met them, they were at Windsor, they had the whole, they did the event, the big event, and then they met with the smaller groups at Windsor. And the picture on their left is that event, when Meghan was wearing this fabulous outfit, I have to say. And I'm not even into fashion, but she looked fabulous in that top, and it looks like a red skirt and something. That was awesome. But one of the issues squaddies had with this, and the only negative, and I hate to bring it up, but it was an issue at the time, was, well, actually, even before we get to this is, this was the big event when they did last year. I should have brought this picture up. But when they had the big event last year, Meghan went. And the picture on the right is so cool. Misan Harriman is the one that took the picture on the right. And I think a lot of the pictures that you see, and I'm assuming these pictures were his as well, the ones on the left and the center. But definitely the one on the left, I'm sorry, the one on the right is his, and he actually posted it again recently. But this was her at the big event. I guess it's like a convention there, and this is her entering to major applause, and so it was really cool. But apart from that coolness, there was this thing that happened, right around the Oprah Winfrey interview. And I think it was just, I think it was before the interview. Was it after the interview? Something like that. But the leader of One Young World, she's the one who founded it, actually, Kate Robertson. That is her on your right, on the left there. Curtsying to Meghan. It's so funny. This was at the One Young World event on stage, and she's curtsying, and Meghan went to hug her, and she's curtsying, and Meghan's like, just give me a hug. It's one of those moments, but it was really cool. And so, but around the time of the Oprah Winfrey interview, she posted this thing, and, her instant reaction to Meghan doing an interview about, what her experience of at the royal family was extremely negative. And her thing was, and it's so weird, I had it on my old Twitter account, and I got rid of the account. So I wish I kept that account so I could have kept all these receipts. But she said something extremely negative about Meghan, even though she didn't say Meghan's name, but you know what it is. And she took offense at, Meghan speaking about her experience, because for her, it was an attack on the Queen. And it was very, it was one of those things. They're like, excuse me? And it was more like, it was sort of like, you can speak your truth, whatever, but don't you dare come at our queen, or some kind of, that was the thing. And she deleted the tweet. So, and again, the tweet was on my old account, so I don't have her I don't have her words exactly. But how we found out about it is Scobie retweeted it. So and mentions like, wow, sort of like, whoa, coming from One Young World, because Meghan was a counselor of One Young World since 2014, and to hear that come from her instant reaction was basically going after Meghan for speaking up about her experience in the royal family. So Kate, and so when Squatty saw that, we all kind of went after her. And it was like, how dare you, and then also offensive was, this was her on the left, earlier in the year, the year before, really, curtsying to Meghan, and before that looked like they had this great relationship. And the moment she heard that Meghan was going to speak about her experience, and her experience was negative, she basically went after Meghan. And so the entire squad went after her. It wasn't pretty. And I was part of that. It wasn't pretty. So, and I remember Scobie did an interview where the interviewers, I think it was GMB or whatever, they weren't happy about Scobie, that he retweeted her. And so it was a whole big thing. But needless to say, I say all that to say, when she got the beat down, she deleted her tweets, and then went and then posted this apology. She says, I am so sorry. I sent a tweet this morning that was unduly critical of people I admire. I'm sorry, that I was unduly critical of people that I admire, care about, and have worked with for a long time. People have called me out on it, and they were right to do so. We should all choose to contribute to a culture of kindness. Everyone has the right to tell their story. That's what our work is about. This was a good lesson. Commenting on people's personal lives is wrong. I'm truly sorry. So when she did that, when she posted this apology, Scobie deleted his tweet. And so, the whole thing calmed down. But yeah, it was just like, lady. And then going through her tweets, we found out there were situations where Piers Morgan was tweeting about Meghan, and she was liking and retweeting Piers Morgan. So it was a whole thing where you realize this woman who was supposedly, she started an organization for and it's a good organization where the majority of people there are Black and brown people, and here she was liking and retweeting someone who is daily attacking and bullying a biracial woman. So it's kind of like we got to see like, wow, this is this woman's true colors. And so we were tweeting back at her all the things she was liking, so basically to let her know, we see you, we know what you've been doing. And so so I wasn't surprised to see when she posted this apology, because people at One Young World were like, some people were like, oh wow, this is this was sad to hear, and they were finding out who she was. So she really didn't have a choice but to apologize. But it was, on the other hand, it was good to see her take ownership of the fact that no, what she did was wrong. And basically you're coming down on somebody who is been abused and is speaking the truth about that abuse, and and speaking the truth about what happened to them, which is what your organization is about being honest and open about your lives. So my thing is, it was very interesting for me. I mean, I didn't know where Meghan was with Young One World after that, after what this whole episode, after the Oprah Winfrey interview. So I didn't know. I had not heard about, if she was still with them or not. I actually even forgot about One Young World, honestly. And And so it was today. So today it was like, oh, okay. So whether Meghan knew about it, I don't know. I don't know if she knew about the whole episode, because we know Meghan and Harry are not on social media. So I don't know. And if she did, then definitely there's some forgiveness and understanding there, whatever. And Meghan continues, or Meghan could just be like, you know what, the working with the young people and working with the program and organization, it overrides my feelings for Kate Robinson. Maybe that could be the issue too as well. That could be, we all deal with these things differently. And so, Meghan has chosen, again, whether she knows about it or not, she has chosen to stay with them and work with those young people and be their keynote speaker. So that's fantastic. My thing with all of this is, look, I'm always of the thing when people, and my Angelou on the side there is like, when people show you who they are, believe them. And not only believe them the first time. And so I hope that she believes Kate Robertson, even if she's still working with One Young World, I hope so. But again, with these people, yes, they love you to your face, but then behind your back, whew, child, I'm telling you. But that's kind of the thing. That for me is the only like negative in that way. And again, we make mistakes. We say things that sometimes, okay, maybe I shouldn't have said that, but then, or maybe I shouldn't be thinking that. And I've been schooled and I have to learn and change. And that's possible too. I mean, we're all people that we make mistakes, or we have prejudice or whatever, and we can overcome them. So nothing is impossible. And I hope that's the case for Kate Robinson. I hope that she didn't just apologize just so that this would go away and she would look good or whatever, or to save her place in her organization, whatever. I hope that she is a changed person from the heart, and that her views and all of this has changed. So hopefully, one could only hope. I mean, I'm not in her mind and her heart, so I can just hope for the best in that situation. So anyways, moving on. Invictus Games Dusseldorf. They're excited about it. We are pleased to announce that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex will be joining us in Dusseldorf on the 6th of September to mark 1 year to go until Invictus Games Dusseldorf. More information coming soon. And Harry always does that. Actually, remember just when Archie was born in 2019, what was like 2 days, a day or two after Archie was born, he had to jet off for a day to The Hague to do the 1 year to go at The Hague. And at the time, I didn't even know. And, I was just getting into Sussex world, so I didn't know how big this was going to be, and of course we know how amazing the Hague Invictus at The Hague turned out to be. So that's what he did, and we remember Harry riding on a bike at The Hague and stuff like that, celebrating 1 year to go, which ended up to be like 2 years because of the pandemic. But we have 1 year to go. For September 2023, so they're going to be doing that in Germany. And Forces News, I love Forces News. They always report under Sussexes, obviously, because Harry was in the military and he founded Invictus Games. So I love that they always report on them. So the Duke and Duchess of Sussex appearance in Dusseldorf will come in the middle of a trip back to the UK to attend charity events. Read more here, and they went on to do it. But I just love the fact that they always cover the Sussexes. I rather read about the Sussexes from Invictus Games or from Forces News, because they don't put any drama in there. There's no gossip in there. They just report the facts as military people do. And I just love that. Oh my gosh, 462 of our favorite people are here. Welcome, guys. I'm so happy you're hanging out with us on a Monday. Hope you are having a great day. I'm sorry, I just looked up and noticed. So yes, I love it, love it, love it. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me. Let's see. And Well Child. Oh, Harry's favorite event, Well Child. They're happy about it as well. So after the Sussexes do One Young World, they jet off to Dusseldorf, and then they come back to the UK for Well Child. It says, we are delighted to announce the Duke and Duchess of Sussex will be attending the Well Child Awards in association with at GSK on 8th September. Well, more Wild Child Awards information will be announced in the coming weeks. And I will always remember that Wild Child Award where Harry broke down and he was crying. It was like, oh my gosh, that will always stay with me. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was, ooh, it went to the heart there. And so, but so that's like their schedule. Again, I'm gonna jump in the chat and see what you guys are saying. I'm gonna start from the bottom and go up. But yeah, Lorna says, "Hi, Lorna." Lorna says, "Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me." Kate R. greeting with Morgan needs to be kicked. Need to be kicked to the curb for that from that charity. Yeah, it's. I hope she had a change of heart. I really do hope. I mean, you wanna hope for the best from someone. You wanna, always want to give someone the benefit of a doubt. But there are some things you're like, But again, benefit of a doubt. So we can all change. We all have things we need to change. And so again, let's hope she did. Karen Warner says, "How dare she? I thought is to teach young people to be strong, independent. It doesn't look like her intentions from starting an organization, going after Meghan for standing up and speaking out, and that's why we went after her." And really was like, wait a minute. You're going against, you have an organization to do, and this is what you're tweeting. And so her true character came out. It's kind of like that veil lifted, or, from it. Yeah, it was just like, ooh, you just showed yourself. And so but again, she apologized and she owned the fact that what she did was wrong. So there you go. Cynthia says, Peddler, I like your reasoning, but the problem are not Meghan's, but the persons who show no empathy. The young people will benefit from Meghan's wisdom. And that's the thing, too, that exactly, I totally agree with you, Cynthia, on that. I mean, it is not Meghan's problem. That Meghan has nothing to do with what, that woman did. Again, her thing is focused on the young people, and no matter what the founder, what her issues are, Meghan's focus is on the young people. So yeah, so I totally agree, because they will benefit, and actually, and she also benefits from them. I mean, when you're there with young people and you're, say, teaching or counseling, they benefit a lot from you, but you also benefit a lot from them and their thinking, and it's amazing. And I know that from teaching. So it's like you both learn from each other. So yeah, it's amazing. Sylvia, hi Sylvia. Sylvia says, maybe Meghan and Kate have discussed. Harry said he has had to learn. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure, again, Meghan is not on social media, but if she know about it, I'm sure they've talked about it. And Meghan, they both, come to whether it's forgiveness or whatever. But if, there must have been a conversation about it, and they both feel good about it, where they can move forward and she can stay and she feel good about still being a counselor, because again, the program is a good program. It's great. So it's just a shame that cloud came over it. So, but yeah. But again, we all have things we need to grow in, and hopefully there was growth there. At least even, that day, it seemed that there was like, whoa, yeah, I need to grow. I need to change this. So, but it's amazing with squatties. We just like, it's like, no, we're going to teach you. I love it. I love us, because nobody else will call this stuff out. We will, Donna, hey, Donna. Donna says, sometimes we can rise above the pettiness and see the big picture. No one person should derail your destiny. Let's support for there's a lot at play here. And so true and so accurate, Donna. Thank you so much for this. Sometimes we can rise above pettiness, and yeah, that was definitely petty. So yeah, and Meghan is shown in so many ways that she can, and I mean, hello, even going back to the UK, talk about rising above, hello, so yeah, let's see. as I scroll up, finding more. Let's see. Joanne. Hi, Joanne Baker. Joanne says, Peddling of the Mindset, Kate Robinson is who she is. Believe her because she showed us who she is. Yep, definitely a different perspective. Exactly. I mean, again, when people show you who they are, believe them. On the other hand, people can change as well. So you have definitely two very distinct school of thoughts, but two very accurate schools of thought. You know what I mean? Both things can be, exist at the same time. So yeah. Oh, Vanzola's joining the chat from Jersey. Hello, Jersey girl Vanzola, right across the river there. It's so funny. I love, one of my favorite things is like hanging out by the river, and Jersey is like literally right across the river. Almost feel like touching distance. At least a part of Jersey. Jersey is massive. So anyway, let's see. Let's see what else. Before we move on. Lydia, family members, remember that Pedal does not allow any profanity in our comments and chats. Any comments like that will be removed. Thank you, Lydia, for reminding us. Yeah, please, no profanity. It doesn't serve anyone. I definitely don't want to see it. So please, 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 let's not have that in the chat. So thank you so much, Lydia, for that reminder. And I mean, I want to see everyone's chat and want to see and want to feature your comment, but I can't, and I don't want to see that, and I don't want to, I won't feature that, definitely. So please, let's just not do that. So thank you, Lydia. I appreciate that. Oh, I love this. Nakuthula. Oh, I love that name. Nakuthula. I hope I said that right. Hello, squatties watching from the UK, originally from Southern Africa, Zimbabwe. Oh, Zimbabwe's in the house. Via UK, but I don't know. I love it. UK. Thank you for joining us. I love it that you're here. Let's see. One more before I move on. Joyce, hi Joyce. Joyce says that the Duchess is now a global influencer with lots of power. So One Young World will benefit from if it's from Meghan. So would be stupid to go after her. I'm not sure what a global influencer, but Meghan does have a lot of power and a lot of influence. So yeah. I mean, you definitely want to have her on board. And then, I mean, think of the, people now who don't know about One Young World, her as a speaker. She'd be there. She'd be the keynote speaker. I mean, I look forward to what she has to say. I haven't heard Meghan keynote speak in a while. We haven't. I mean, we've heard lots of speeches from Harry, including the last time we heard him at the UN. But Meghan has been relatively silent. So I am looking forward to what she has to say. And I know a lot of, especially in the UK, would be there with our noses pressed against the screen or however we're hearing it to hear what she has to say. And of course, we know the UK press will be picking it every single word she says apart. So, but I'm very much looking forward to what she has to say there. It'll be amazing. And we know Harry usually speak at Wellchild, so that would be wonderful as well. And usually at Wellchild, we get a lot of updates about what's going on with Archie and Lily. So they tend to throw a lot of that out there and talk to the parents about it, and the parents tend to talk about what they say. So we get a lot of tidbits from Wellchild. So I'm looking forward to hear whatever updates that's going on with Archie and Lily as well. So that's usually what they do there. So, but yeah, I'm very much happy about this. But anyways, so yeah. We will be seeing our faves next month in the UK. I mean, if they're doing, of course, everybody was like, that's going to be coming right before Harry releases his memoir. Meanwhile, none of us know when exactly Harry's memoir is coming out. So of course we don't know, and they haven't said anything. So whoever says that is like, that's just your opinion on your speculation. Global influencer. Sorry. Thank you, Joyce, for clearing that up. I should have figured that out, but my mind wasn't working at the time. So thank you for clarifying that it's not gobble influencer you meant. It's global influencer. And that Meghan is. So thank you very much. And I love her chutzpah. I love her chutzpah. It's like, you are the country that's been demonizing me. I'm going to come into your country and I'm going to keynote speak, and there's nothing you could do about it. And I just love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love her chutzpah. So there you go. I love a woman with oomph. So and I just love that about her. She's like, I'm gonna walk in here and there's nothing you can do about it. So there. So anyways, moving on. Let me do a little bit of a change music, because we're gonna just change it here a little bit. Let's just get a little bit of change. What was our change music the other day? Oh, I think it was this one. Okay. Did you guys watch the documentary? I mean, I don't know how many people on here, if y'all can tell me before we get in there, if you had a chance to watch it. I would love to know what your thoughts are about the documentary. I got to see it yesterday. I saw it with a friend of mine. I went to her house and I saw it, and it was just, for me, it was very interesting. The thing that I love about it, again, that it was that there were no royal commentators from now. There are none of these horrendous royal commentators or reporters or whatever from now. It's just all archival footage, news footage mainly, some of the public footage from people in the public from different schools of opinion about Diana. But it was a very, very, very interesting way to do it, and I really like this way of doing it. Just using, again, the archival footage. For me, these are the images that stood out the most for me, especially the one with Harry. I mean, look at his face, and I couldn't. I remember Harry talking, and I think it's the Oprah Winfrey interview, is talking about, just his feelings about being made to be there and have to walk behind his mother's coffin, and being in that environment with all those people bawling and screaming and all of these emotions, and to put a little child into that situation, it's unforgivable. Every time I see this, and just look at his face, it's like how anyone could put a child, and put children. Yes, whatever you feel or I feel about William, he was also a child. He was a couple years older, but he was still a child. And to put children in this position, and it's hard enough when it's just family members, but this is traumatic. I feel traumatized, and I'm an adult watching this thing. And I could only imagine if that was my mother, or a parent in any way, and you're in this situation with all these people, and you basically have to check your feelings. It's almost like you can't even feel in those moments. And to put a child, and knowing the reason why Harry and William were put in this situation, basically to not let the public stone them, or because the public was really angry at them, and to use your kids in these situations. Ah, it just, I can't imagine. I mean, and I would assume that, I would assume Harry wouldn't watch it, but you never know. He probably did. Or, yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's seen all of this footage, so I'm sure he may not even bother with, say, watching the documentary. But it's just, these are the images for me that, like, it stuck out. And, it's funny. I saw this tweet by Italia B on Twitter, and it feels like it's something we've been talking about, on this podcast. She says, just finished watching Princess Diana HBO and realized that the British royal family gladly gave security to the corpse of Princess Diana that they refused to give her when she was alive. I'm so glad that Prince Harry took Princess Meghan away from that. I am so glad they're safe. And that is what we've been talking about this whole time with Harry's security and stuff, and I just, again, will never believe that Diana refused protection. I would never believe that she was the one that made that decision to not have police protection. And no matter what it is that the royal family, the press, and the Metropolitan Police want people to believe, I would never believe that. And so I feel like B just says exactly what I was thinking. They gave protection. Look at all this police protection they gave to her corpse. They waited until she was dead to give protection. The protection that they denied her when she was alive. And for me, I think it was 2 episodes ago, I talked about that how there's a culture in the UK where they will worship the dead, where they would worship the statue, where the statue is the thing. We'll build monuments to dead people, but we will vilify them and kill them when they're alive. We will do all this horrible thing when they're alive, but then when they're dead, they all of a sudden become these heroes that we build monuments and statues to. And this is what she's talking about. And this is what I would never understand. Look at the police protection she has. This is a corpse. She no longer needs police protection. When she needed it, y'all let her die. And for me, it's just that, for me, is the overriding feeling that I had with this, just thinking about what Harry has been going through, just to get protection, just to get security for him. Look at what he's been going through. Yet look at what they put all of their manpower, all of their security, they put it for someone who is dead. Where were they when she was alive? Where were they when she was tortured by paparazzi? Where she was there, where she was being vilified by the press? Look at all the people surrounding her. Where were these people? I always talk about the silent the majority who love, quote unquote, love Diana. Where were all of these people when she was being torn to shreds? Where were they? Yet we see the mountains of flowers that was at Kensington Palace. We see the mountains and the grief and people wailing and mourning. Yes, and they love her, and I don't doubt that. But where were they when she was alive? Why didn't she have this overwhelming support when she was alive? And this is the same thing. It's the same culture that I keep talking about that is happening again when Prince Harry talks about history repeating itself. It's the same thing. Where is the silent majority? Why aren't they speaking up when people are alive and need the help? But yet the same silent majority would be the first one who'd be saying, oh my gosh, I love her, I love her, I love her. Well, love is an action word. When you love, you protect, you do something, you say something, you speak up, you stand up. You don't keep it silent when they are being abused and tortured and their lives are being destroyed. You do not stay silent. And so that's, for me, is why when people are like, oh yes, I love Diana, I'm like, well, why didn't you say something? when she was alive, when she needed your help. And you can say, yes, well, there wasn't social media. There's not all of what we have. People have been protesting from the beginning of time. There are a lot of different ways you could do it. You could stand up and speak up for people. You could show up. And so that's, for me, is the frustration with the so-called silent majority. Because my thing is, if you're silent, you are complicit with the abuse. That is my thing about that. I make no apologies for that thinking. Again, don't tell me you love someone and stay silent when they're being abused and you don't do anything. That is not love. And I don't care what you want to say. When you love is action. You do something. And for me, watching this and watching just the crowds of people, it just, I'm not bashing them in the sense, like, I don't doubt that they quote unquote love and they feel something for her. But again, if you're not doing something, to claim you love is to do, it's an action. You have to do something. You cannot claim you love someone and see them going through this and not take action in some way, shape, or form. And the same people, the same press, as Harry says, the same industry that has done this to Princess Diana is doing the same thing to Meghan, and the same silent majority is still silent. It's the minority, the ones that hate, the ones that attack. Those are the ones we're hearing. Other than, again, I will say this a million times, other than the majority, the Sussex squad, the majority of people are silent. The ones who have the ability. That's why I was so upset at that guy who claimed that, yes, I knew, I can't say, but I know how that the hate Meghan brigade is $1 billion industry. That's why I was so upset at him. These are people who know, they've seen it, they know, and yet they will not speak up. They will not challenge. But something happened, and then they would be the first to be like, oh yeah, I knew this was happening. I'm like, well, why didn't you say something? And then for me, this is how I know when somebody love and when they don't, when it's just words. And I'm not in, if you love, then you do something, then you have to act. And so, yeah, my watching this documentary was frustrating. I felt frustrated. I felt angry. I had a whole range of feelings, and we'll talk about that in a second. But, oh gosh, before I move on, I am so sorry. I have seen a couple of people that just passed by while I was talking that just contributed, and I am so sorry. Iris, thank you so much for your contribution. Thank you for your donation. She says, I truly believe that Prince Charles had something to do with her death. I mean, that has, that was one of the, at the time, I think there was an investigation and they claimed that, he didn't have anything to do with it. I don't have any proof of any of this, but somebody did something. I don't believe, for me, someone is responsible. I don't believe that it was just an accident myself. I don't have proof that Prince Charles had something to do with it. Would I be shocked? No, I would not. But I don't have any proof. I have no proof. Alma, thank you so much for your super sticker. Thank you for supporting. Thank you so much. And Connie, thank you so much for your super sticker. Thank you so much for donating. I'm just so grateful for you guys' support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But we're gonna go on. I mean, I would love to hear your thoughts about, if you've seen it, what your thoughts are about the documentary. Let's see. Let's go down and see. Oh, I just saw. Okay, let's see. Meaningful life coaching. I don't think I've seen you here before. Meaningful life coaching. Welcome. Thank you for your call. Let's see what you said. She said it's a strange phenomenon how these people would do something if do the same thing if something happened to Harry and Meghan. God forbid, they will come out mourning, but that does not matter after the person is dead. Yeah. I mean, exactly. They would they do this sort of thing. They mourn, and again, they build statues and monuments and all of that stuff. I mean, we saw in, the Black Lives Matter protests where there were police, literally police, guarding the statue. I think it was Winston Churchill's statue. I think that was the statue. They were literally encircled the statue. They cared more about the statue than the people's lives. And I mean, it's unreal to me, to that kind of mindset. It's scary, it is really scary to watch that. Let's see who else is chatting about it. Let's see. Lorna, I think you're it for the day. And I'm always coming back to yours. She says, she's talking to Verda. Sorry. Verda said, Lorna says, as she's talking to Verda, says, can you believe Charles decided to play polo instead of going to the hospital for William's head surgery? That's an absent father for you. Yeah, Charles is. Talk about this, going to play polo when William was injured. When Harry was born, I think they took Diana's home, and not even an hour later, Charles left and went off to play polo again. And it's so funny. I wish they had used this footage, because there are two photographers who were betting on each other. One of them said, you want to see him leave and go play polo, and the other photographer was like, oh no, he's not going to do that. They literally had a bet for $50, and sure enough, within an hour of, I guess, Harry going home, Charles went off to play polo, and obviously the one who, one of the photographers lost his $50. But yeah, that's the kind of father poor Charles is. He literally left his young son. And I think that was around the time when, if you watch or you listen to Diana in her own words, she said that was pretty much when her marriage ended. Something in her just died. That was around the same time, because Charles he apparently wanted a girl. And so he wasn't happy. And she, when she found out she was having a boy, she was afraid to tell him. He wasn't happy that Harry wasn't a girl. And, when he made a comment about it, that's when Diana said, that was pretty much the end of her marriage. Something in her died when he made that comment. So there was always this thing about, with Harry's birth. And so, and later years, it looked like him and Harry sort of, had a good, I guess, if you want to call it, good relationship. But, when you look back and see, what Charles was like, and his not quite welcoming of his baby son, I'm not really surprised. I really am not surprised. So, yeah. Hi, Charles, man. I'm telling you, again, I don't know how Meghan and Harry ended up with the two worst fathers in the world, but somehow they did. It's just it's unbelievable. Iris, says, he really didn't care for Prince Harry because he wanted a daughter. Yeah, that's what he wanted. And he wasn't shy and say, how do you say, even make those kind of, how do you even form that in your mouth to say that when your wife just gave birth? And I don't understand these people. I really don't understand these people. Let's see. Michelle Fierce. Oh, I like this. Michelle Fierce. It sounds like a character in a movie or something, like one of those maybe not Star Wars, but one of those superhero movies. Michelle Fierce. I love it. She says the royal family and the haters are more afraid of Harry and Meghan than Harry and Meghan are of them. That was smart to put it all out in the open. Their security is better than ever. All eyes are on the rats, and they know it. Yeah. All eyes are on them. And the funny thing about this with their security is that more and more and more of the rotor rats, as you know, people refer to them as, are coming out on the side of, wait a minute, this is really petty and stupid. Harry should have his security, especially in the light of the same Ravek who denied Harry security recently decided that Prince Andrew, who is not working and who resigned in disgrace, that he is worthy to keep his security. The same Ravek is the same one that did that. So yeah, it's it's good that it's out in the open. So now everybody has, that everybody is talking about it. And so, God forbid anything happens, nobody can say, well, I didn't know, or it was an accident, whatever. God forbid nothing like that happens, but it's out in the open for everyone. So yeah. Oh, actually, this is a great idea. Petal, maybe you can have an open phone line for people to talk about Princess Diana's documentary. Sylvia, I love this. Why don't we just do that? And that is a great idea. So let me do this. Thank you so much. Invite. Okay. I am good. See, this is why I love this community. Thank you so much. I love it. All right. I am going to put the chat in the paste. All right. So the link is in the chat. If you want to come on. You have, I'll give you 2 minutes to share what your take is of the Princess Diana documentary. I'm telling you, that's why I just love us. I love us. Thank you, Sylvia. So the link is now in the chat. So if you want to come on, definitely lower your volume. If you're listening to the podcast, use headsets, and you can come on and you could share with us what you think. So I love this. I love it. I love it. Thank you, Sylvia. Thank y'all for helping me with how to make this podcast better. I just appreciate it so much. Thank you. So anyway, so again, the link is right there. Please call in. You have 2 minutes to share. Please stay on topic. That would be great. And yeah, put the headsets on. And so I hope somebody does. And if no one else, Sylvia, you're it. So I expect at least you to call in. So anyways, let's move on. Rolling Stones, when this was shown, and at Sundance earlier this year, Rolling Stones wrote an article about it. And Rolling Stones, this is what the article says. So in the meantime, while someone is calling in or thinking of calling in, let's look at this article. Again, it's from January. It says, the use of nothing but archival footage to recount Diana's rise, her perpetual trial by television, her fall isn't her fall isn't a gimmick. It's a stroke of genius, jiu-jitsu finishing move on her tormentors. It was the media, after all, that helped coronate her as the people's princess, showing the world an actual fallible human being living among royals who seemed to treat human behavior like a luxury or a liability. It was the media that documented how the public loved her, sometimes in the most ironic and extreme ways. We'll go down. It was the media that constantly cut her down, held her under a microscope, blinded her with a spotlight, and then had to have a major attitude, because I don't use that word, about her holding a press conference in which she begged to be left alone. It was the media who declared Princess of Wales' love story to be the stuff of fairy tales that fairy tales are made of, and then became an ogre at her door. They were her judge, jury, and yes, her executioner. Long before they chased her through the streets of Paris in 1997, courtesy of the footage, etc., they were parasites, slowly draining her lifeblood. Look, one pap reason. They took photos because news editors wanted them, since readers bought the papers when they ran them. So really, he says, the buck stops with the readers. And someone has come in, Karen. Hello, Karen. So let's get this off and we will get Karen on. Karen, are you there?
Squatties, how are you guys?
Hi, hi, good. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for calling in.
Oh, I just love you, girl.
Oh, I love
and I
you
and I
too.
love all I love all the squatties. Don't get jealous, guys. I love you all.
Thank you
uh,
so much for calling. So share with us, what did you get from the documentary? What was your take? Your two
oh my
cents.
God, there was so much there. But one of the things I want to get off out the bat is that um, they tried to um, peg her as if she's stupid, but that woman was
Mm,
smarter than all of them.
yeah.
Okay, she was smarter than all of them. And she done then exactly what Meghan and Harry did this time. Get your story out there, get your truth out there, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then let everyone take from it what they want, okay?
Right.
Because they were ready to scandal her, okay, in terms of, the affair and all that stuff that she had, right?
Mm-hmm.
But she made sure she made it clear, yes, okay, I was in love with that person. And yes, it did go beyond that. Because you know
Mm-hmm.
something? I'm a young woman with feelings, okay?
Yep.
And what I need from my husband, he's not giving to me. He's giving to somebody else, okay? Because
Mm.
he don't see me that way, okay?
Right.
And I'm a young woman who's in need, okay? And yes, if I can't get it from him, if he can't fulfill his job with his wife and doing it with somebody else's wife, then yes, I am going to go and look for love where I need love because Charles didn't know how to give love. He knew
Mm.
how to take love. And with Diane, he had to give her love.
Wow.
Okay? But he didn't
Mm-hmm.
know how to do that. Camilla was giving him the love. He was her like dependent.
Mm.
Okay? So he know how to get because that's what he was looking for. He didn't get it from his mom, he didn't get so he was looking for a mother to give it to him. And that's what
Mm.
Camilla was. Okay? But for him to give love, he didn't know how to do that because he keep wanting and taking it all the time. When it comes to
Wow.
his kids, he didn't even know how to give love to them.
Wow.
Okay? So he was just taking and taking and taking all the time. And the other thing is it's what confirms what this confirms for me, okay, is one of the things I always knew and suspected.
Mm-hmm.
Prince Harry, from a young age, knew that this family's behavior and attitude towards people were so wrong. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it was so wrong. But he had no voice then to do anything about it.
Right.
He was trapped and just had to go along with it because this is the family he was born in. Okay? He kept
Right.
trying to escape to go to Africa. He went into the army and keep trying to escape it just to have somewhat of a civilized life,
Mm.
right? But this is what he always had to go into, and he come to terms with it that this is the family and he's trapped in it. But he tried
Wow.
his best to work it out, like to manage his life in a different manner, right?
Right.
And now today he has that voice, okay, that he can
Right.
speak about it and show the wrong in it, okay,
Mm.
and show what he's seen from a little boy, that age. Because there was a conversation with him, William, and the father when the father was doing a photo op, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and the father said something that was the same conversation where one of the reporters asked him about, the treatment, of the kids or the treatment of what's going on with them. And
Mm-hmm.
Harry said, well, the father always telling, well, I went through that, so they have to go through that. And that was a
Right.
conversation with a reporter. And if you look at Harry had to be like either 14, 15 around
Mm-hmm.
that time. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at that conversation, you saw Harry's face on that conversation, you can see that he did not agree with what the father said. And it's
Wow.
exactly what he repeated in that thing with with Oprah, the me you
The me
can't
you
see,
can see. Yes. Uh-huh.
exactly what he repeated in there. Because from that time, Harry was upset with what also knew, okay, that what the father was saying is wrong. Like, why would you think that your kids have to go through the same thing? Why wouldn't you make it better for them? So you
Right.
can see from since then, he didn't agree with all the stuff that was going on and happening in there. You
Wow.
know, so
Right.
she didn't give them the chance. She when she did that interview and that Parana interview, she
Mm-hmm.
purposely did it because she was taking back her power, and she
Right.
wasn't giving them the chance to scandalize her. She went there and she told the truth. Yes, I had an affair, and yes, this is why I had an affair, because I'm a young woman. My I know that my husband is having his affair,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, I'm still a human being and a young woman, and I have
Right.
needs too. And of course,
Right.
I'm going to find someone who is going to love me and I can love me the way I want to be loved,
Right.
okay? And go about
Right.
my life. He's
Right.
doing it to somebody else,
Right. Thank you so much,
So
Karen. Thank you
you're welcome,
so
sweetie.
much.
Yes, yes.
Oh, we have Margaret on,
Have
so I
you
want to
back.
give her a chance as well.
Not a
But
problem. Go ahead.
thank
Go ahead.
you.
Take care. Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much. And so, Margaret, hello, Margaret. Margaret, are you there? Unmute yourself. Margaret, hello, Margaret. Oh, Margaret, if you could hear me, unmute yourself because I'd love to hear what you have to say. In the meantime, if anybody else wants to come on, hopefully Margaret will hear this and unmute yourself herself and share with us her thoughts. But oh, here we go. Hi, Margaret. Oh, she unmuted herself again.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Welcome.
Thank you. So I was trying to figure out what I had to do, and I didn't realize I had unmuted myself.
Ah, well, I'm happy you figured it out. So yeah,
Yeah.
so in
I
the next couple of minutes, please tell us what are your thoughts about the documentary?
Well, I wasn't able to see the documentary, but I did see it initially when it came out. Not the documentary, but the actual um, funeral and everything else.
Okay.
And I remember in those days that um, Charles made sure that Diana wouldn't have HRH
Mm,
so that she wouldn't have security. And that
right.
was stated in the media. And
Right.
that really upset me because she was somebody of aristocracy,
Mm-hmm.
and she did have problems with her brother and everything,
Right.
and it had nowhere to run, nowhere to go. Her father was passed on, so of
Mm-hmm.
course no, nothing. Everybody was all for the um, uh, the where Charles is. In other words, the
The royal
uh,
family.
yes, the
Mm-hmm.
royal family itself, and they. He was worried that they were going to blame him.
Mm.
Okay, and that was one of the things that he said. Oh, they're going to blame me.
Wow.
So I wanted to bring that forth because this has not been brought up.
Mm-hmm.
And he did demand that Diana not have a charge.
Right.
Once he found out that she was seeing other men,
Mm-hmm.
that bothered him.
Mm-hmm.
Yet she shouldn't be bothered that he's having an uh, on and off affair with his mistress.
Isn't that the culture though? How the guys could do it, it's okay for the men, but when the woman does it, it's like everybody goes crazy. Like, oh, she's not allowed, but they just, they allow.
Yeah,
It's okay for the guy. It's okay for the Windsor men to have affairs. It's like a thing with them, but the woman
right.
can't do it. So, what do
That
you think? Yeah, what do you think now when you see, for example, the photo of, you know, they took away her HRA so she can't have security, but then you see all that security with her coffin.
that's due to the fact that there's Charles there, there's Philip there, and then there's the two boys. That
Hmm.
was the security.
But there was
It
security
wasn't.
traveling away from them, like when the security, took her body.
Uh, the thing is that they had to put that in.
Hmm.
They had to do all this for the two boys,
Right.
nothing else, and how it showed it to the public.
Hmm.
Because if you remember, initially the Queen didn't comment,
Right.
didn't put the flag down,
Hmm.
didn't do anything
Hmm.
until she was reprimanded
Right.
by the mayor or whoever was there in, you know, uh, for the uh, what is it called? Um, the government.
Hmm.
Okay, they said you have to do this.
Right. So Tony
Okay,
Blair, right? Tony Blair and those guys were, yeah,
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 they
yeah.
did mention to her, you have to bring down the
The
flag,
flag. Hmm.
because she hadn't done that.
Hmm.
You have to comment on this.
Hmm.
You have your grandchildren there. You have That's their mother.
Right.
You have to do all this.
Right. Yeah.
And she is still a princess.
Right.
So it was all show.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. The security was mainly because of Charles and Philip.
Mhm. Mhm.
And the other thing that I read in the past is that when Diana was chased, there was also M6 there.
Mm.
Okay, M6 is
The spy, the spy
the
organization.
that's right.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so
why would they?
they
Why? What were they doing there? That's
they
my
were
question.
they and at the end, that was the other thing. From what I understand from the sister, that Diana would never unbuckle. Okay, but she was unbuckled. Everybody else was unbuckled, and that is a question.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
so I don't know what transpired, because the the paparazzi did take pictures of Diana when
Mm.
she was dying.
Yeah.
They were right there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
these are things that, they are trying to put behind and not in the front,
Mhm.
because they don't want the monarchy to be involved in that, because
Right.
M6, Philip, was part of that.
Oh, I didn't
He
know that.
headed
Okay.
that. He
Oh.
did had that.
Oh wow.
Okay, he dealt with them.
Okay.
So we don't know the full context of the whole thing,
Mhm.
but eventually it'll come out.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Margaret. I appreciate you coming on and talking to us. Thank you so
Yeah, like I
much.
just wanted to bring that part. I really
Yeah.
wanted to see it, but HBO is not on my TV,
Right. Okay.
and I would have had to pay, and I would have had to pay monthly.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I said, or yearly. and
Right.
I can't afford that.
Right. Yeah. Hopefully it'll come. It eventually will come. I'm assuming on free, someplace free, or someplace you can stream it. For relatively inexpensive. It'll might be a little bit down the road, but
Right.
hopefully everyone will have a chance to get to see it. But thank you so much, Margaret. I
No
appreciate you
problem. I
coming
thought
on.
I needed to voice my opinion on these things. I
Yes.
know sometimes I get, because I'm nervous.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
not used to this.
hey, you overcame and you came on, and it took a lot of courage to come on and do it, and I appreciate it. So thank you, thank you, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Bye. Thank you guys. Anyone else would like to come on? I would absolutely love for you to come on. So please, we have a few more minutes if you'd like to come on and just say hello. So, but I'm going to go back to the chat for a bit and see what you guys are saying. Oh my gosh, thank you so much again, Sylvia. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. Let's see what else you guys are saying in the chat. Let's see. Somebody who I have not looked at before. Felicia. Hi, Felicia. Felicia Teta. Oh, I like that. Said the security display is for the PR, nothing else. I mean, how do they live with themselves with the evil things they do? As it's as she was just saying, I guess it was for PR. It's like you didn't give her security when she was alive, but there's this massive show of security for her in her death. I mean, it makes no sense. So thank you so much, Margaret, for coming on. Thank you for Karen. Thank you, Karen. Also, anyone else? We have a couple minutes. I think Baron is going to start shortly. If you have to jump off to Baron, totally understand. You can watch the rest in replay. It's not much longer. I just wanted to see any more takes on it. On if you've seen the documentary. Sylvia. Hey, Sylvia again. Sylvia says, Harry said that they were taking pictures of his mother in the back seat of the car while his mother was there bleeding. So sad. Again, human, like, I don't understand how the callousness of that is. I will never understand. I will never ever understand this kind of callousness. It just, yeah, I yeah. McCoy lady. Hello, McCoy lady. She says, hello, Squatty. I must say that I'm glad that they're getting out and doing their thing and not letting the UK dictate how they live. God is covering them in his blood and they will be safe. And yes. Thank you so much, McCoy lady, for this positivity. Yeah, and I'm glad about that too. They're not allowing people's madness, their hate, their all the stuff that's thrown at them. They're not allowing that to dictate how they live or what they do. And also when they do it, they set their own schedule. And as someone said earlier, they march to the beat of their own drums. And I absolutely love that. Yes, Lydia says, thank you, Maggie, for sharing. Yes, I very much appreciate her coming on. Again, a couple more minutes. If you want to come on and share with us for 2 minutes, that would be awesome. And until we are done here, that would be really great. I'd love to hear from you. Let's see. Adrian. Hi, Adrian Burrows. Adrian says, Elizabeth had the nerve to complain that Margaret was more popular than she, her own sister. So Charles and William got that jealousy. Honestly. Oh, I didn't realize she complained about Margaret being more popular. I didn't. Again, I'm just now learning about their lives. So I didn't read that part. So interesting. I'm telling you, that jealousy has like a direct line in that whole family. It's like it's in their veins. It's in everything about their makeup. that they are just so jealous about everything. It's unreal. And I keep saying unreal. I don't know why. That's become my world lately. Um, Compton Caligal says, just like they're doing to Prince Harry and Princess Meghan, history repeating itself, and Harry is aware of it. And thank God he is aware of it to take his family out of there. Thank the Lord he is aware of it. Yeah. Mashar says, Fate and Karma has a sense of humor and ironies. We'll see what happens to the monarch once QE2 dies. Chuck will have his comeuppance, and Camilla too. I'm telling you, QE2 ain't going nowhere. This woman's going to live for another 10 years. She is not going anywhere at all. So she's like, if I go, this whole thing will fall apart. And I spent my whole life trying to hold up this monarchy. I'm not going anywhere. QE2 is going nowhere. So, in the documentary, it confirms that they were taking pictures of her in the car while fighting for her life. Again, it just, oi. Even with a camera, like someone is in that position, I can't imagine taking pictures would be the thing that I would be doing. I don't know that it's unreal. I wouldn't have the presence of mind to think someone is dying in front of me and taking pictures. But we're all so different, right? We're all so different. And Lydia, thank you so much. She says Baron is on in 25 minutes from now. So we have a few minutes that, again, if you want to jump on and talk, I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much. And again, I just love the fact that our community is such where you can just tell it was like, let's hear from other people. And I thank you. Thank you for just taking ownership of this channel. And, thank you so much. I love this. I absolutely love this. Joseph. Hello, Joseph. I have not had a comment from you in a while, so I'm happy to have a comment from you. He says the Sussexes won't conveniently take the pressure off the royals by leaving the scene like Diana unfortunately did. As long as they're alive and free, the farce of the monarchy is laid bare. Oh my gosh, I love this comment so much. I absolutely love this comment. As long as they're alive and free, the farce of the monarchy is laid bare. And I love that. Yeah, they're definitely, remember that little it was a speech Meghan gave to a group of girls or something like that, and she talked about that, about applying the pressure, and people who've been there before, they're not gonna like it, but keep applying that pressure. And the royal family are going to have to deal with the Sussexes. They cannot run and hide. The Sussexes are definitely not hiding. The easier thing would have been, I would have honestly up for the easy with this one. I'm like, I don't want to deal with these people. They are monstrous. But the Sussexes are not like that. They're like, no, you're going to have to deal. You're going to have to change. Something is going to have to give. We're not going to back down from what you are doing and what you have done. They're not there. Keep that pressure on. So I thank you, Joseph. Absolutely. Let's see. Oh, really? Adrian says people love Margaret because she was the party princess. It's funny, the UK public and that with the party princess. It's really, really funny because it's the same thing with Harry, the so-called we love you because you're this party person. And it's, I don't know if it's love or it's just because they are the one that give, because those are the ones the press will feature on because they get gossip from that. And so for me, I hate to, not hate, but I hesitate to say and believe the narrative that people loved her the same way I hesitate to believe the narrative that people really loved Harry. One, because they don't know Harry. But people love gossip, and a lot of the tabloids got gossip from the so-called quote-unquote party, the party prince, which is usually the label that they would give to someone like the spare, like Margaret or Harry, or even say Prince Andrew. They are the party princes because they got the gossip from that. And so for me, a lot of times I want to think that people love that narrative and they love the gossip, not necessarily the person. And I could be wrong, but that's what I get. Oh, Karen, wait, is this the same Karen back with us? Karen, is this you
Yes, it
again?
is.
Oh, hey, you got more to say? Tell us.
Yes,
You
seeing that
got
you
two
had,
minutes.
yeah, see that you have some space. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the things I wanted to say, and I'm glad of this documentary,
Uh
is
huh.
that people of today is getting to see what actually happened, because they know the Diana story, they know that she's gone, and they know that, these are her two sons, but
Mm-hmm.
they don't actually know why she's gone, and the reason behind. They're just
Mm-hmm.
getting all this, far stuff that they're trying to manipulate them with right now. So I'm
Uh huh.
so glad that this can, because the ones that the people that were babies, the people that were young, the people that weren't born at that time, and also the people that weren't really paying attention at that time, you
Mm.
know, today they are,
Right.
right? Today
Mm-hmm.
they are. Today they're knowing. Today, a lot of people mentally are, grown up, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of this stuff is what they're experiencing in their real life, whether they're workplaces, whether they're, whatever country they're from,
Mm.
and and even in their own family life, like this mentality they're experiencing today, right?
Mm.
And
Right.
coming to terms with all the mental stuff and the manipulation and the colonialism that went on in those days, and
Right.
what it did to people, what it did to them, what it did to their foreparents and all that stuff,
Right.
and why
Mm-hmm.
all this fight had to go on, and why we are who we are today. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, they're paying more attention because these things are happening to them real time. So
Right.
a lot of us can relate to what, understand and relate now to what went on with it. We're not in captivity anymore. We're not in
Right.
bondage anymore. We have a voice now.
Mm-hmm.
So this here is so real, and it's so, this is what I got. I'm so happy that this documentary came out, and it
Mm-hmm.
cannot be manipulated or taken away by no one. Today's
Right.
people are knowing what's happening.
Right.
I'm so happy about that.
Right. No, it's very true because I mean, even the younger generation, if you see, like so many of them on TikTok, you wouldn't think this young
Hmm.
generation is they're really on top of royal stuff, but so
Hmm.
many young people are doing all these videos, and they do
Hmm.
not like the royal family, especially Charles and
Exactly.
Camilla. So they're really
Exactly.
up on this stuff.
Yeah, because they themselves are living that today. Because
Mm-hmm.
especially, people of color are seeing this playing out today against
Right.
them. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
women are seeing this playing out today against them, and they're looking back and saying, what has happened to our women before? Okay,
Right.
and what's happening to them today, and the fight that they have to fight to be heard, to be
Right.
seen, to get a place at the table. They're seeing
Right.
what they have to do. They're seeing what happened, women in workplaces, having getting less pay for the same job, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all this stuff is front and center for what we're going through today, right?
Right.
So they get a chance now to pay attention to what happened to people before, what happened to this woman before,
Right.
okay, and still playing out today with with a woman of color who joined that family today. You know what? Yeah,
Right.
this is so serious. It's not funny. It's really really serious. And there's a time when even our young people, you talk to them about about our history, and they don't want to hear it because they're saying, well, oh, that was in their times, that was in our foreparents' time, that was, so they don't have to deal with that today. But now they're
Right.
realizing, something? No, it's happening today still.
Right.
Okay? So you need to pay attention.
Yeah.
And all this here is what's, and now they're seeing what all these organizations and the fights are for, like one young world and all that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
what it stands for. Okay. Now they're starting to come to terms with all this. This is what we're fighting for. The things that happened back then. Okay, is
Right.
what we're fighting for today. What's going on in Africa? Africa should have been established at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they should have, if with all the help that they said they were helping Africa in those places, the Africans should have been so well off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if they were really helping them,
Right.
but they weren't.
Right.
They were just
Exactly.
keeping them right where they want them, so that they can just keep taking from them and keep using them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and keep manipulating them.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but something, today's a different day.
Yes.
So
Yes. Yes. Thank you
I can
so
go
much. That
on
is
and on.
so
I'm just
important.
sorry.
No, no, thanks. No, I appreciate you coming back on.
I get
Thank you.
I get too deep in these things.
Yeah. Well, okay, so now look, I'm gonna do this more often where you guys could come on and chat. And I really appreciate you coming on and chat. Thank you so much for Sylvia for like, let's do it. And so I appreciate you coming and taking the time and sharing your thoughts about, I mean, I talk way too much anyway, so it's good to hear somebody else's voice on here. So it's good. I appreciate you sharing that, and what you have to say is so important. So thank you, thank you, thank you. So make sure you're here next episode, because I expect to hear you back on the show.
I
Cool.
will. I
All
will.
right. Thank you, Karen.
Take care. Bye.
Bye. I love it. So just a little bit more. We're gonna end shortly, but just a little bit more about this is just, I shared this the last time with just about the parallels, and one of the things that people are drawing from this documentary is just the parallel in the coverage of Diana, and how they covered her, the press covered her and monstered her really, and then how they covered Princess Meghan. And so it's just the same language, you as you can see on the left, they talk about her brutal outburst against royal staff. Get out of my sight. And then basically the same language from Meghan. Traumatized, Meghan Markle flew into a rage at PA over the color of blankets and left an entire household on the verge of quitting. Princess Diana enjoyed gossiping, created tension amongst royal staff members. Meghan Markle leaves royal staff strained with demands and falls out with Kate. Princess Diana dark side doesn't get a look in. Shady side of Meghan. Prince Charles cut out friends to meet Princess Diana's inexhaustible demands. Save marriage. Prince Harry's friend claimed he was cut off from pals since marrying Meghan Markle, and many no longer have his number. It's the same narrative. It's the same way, as we looked at in the article before. It's the same thing they do. They as with Diana, they were all like, oh, she's the people's princess, she's all of this stuff, all this an inexhaustible coverage of her. And then in the end, like as the article says, it says they were her judge, her jury, and yes, her executioner. And the thing that they do is that they would stalk and stalk and stalk. When they would I remember one of the things that in the documentary that was, it wasn't surprising, but it was just startling to hear it, is when Diana and Dodi were, it looked like a private beach somewhere, and there were all these photographers and boats out in the water. And so they took a photo of Dodi and Diana, I guess they were kissing or whatever, and they basically are blaming her for the fact that they were invading their space and kissing in a photograph. The same thing, there was a shot of Diana coming out of a gym, and tons of paparazzi are there clicking away at her. And then I guess it was some lady in the in the public criticizing Diana and blaming her for the fact that there is no, they're like, well, she's only going to this gym because she wants attention, basically. And, you know, why can't she put a gym at the Kensington Palace? They're literally blaming her for not having a gym at Kensington Palace. This woman went to the gym. Paparazzi show up and are taking pictures, and they're blaming her for the fact that paparazzi take pictures of her, sell it to newspaper, and then they read it. And again, we as consumers have to look at our behavior, because at the end of this, where it says they took photos because news editors wanted them, since readers bought the papers when they ran them. So really, the buck stops with the readers. A lot of this stuff with, you know, there's a reason why I don't post paparazzi pictures, pictures where it's on the Sussex's private time. I will post pictures when it's a public event, where they know that their photos are going to be taken, where they know what the deal is. I'm going to post those pictures. You know, I'm going to post pictures when they're doing, you know, again, public events. But when it's a private stuff, when they're on their private time with their family, I will not post those pictures, because it's exactly what these paparazzis were saying. The buck stops with the readers. It's a demand industry. If there is no demand, there is no paparazzi culture. If we are not consuming that stuff, the paparazzi pictures will be worthless. But what happens is when the paparazzi take it, the publications, whether it be the Daily Mail or whatever, who pays tons of money for those pictures, especially the Daily Mail, when they take those pictures and they pay money for it and they put it there because they know they have an audience who will gobble it up and share it all over social media. And that is why a lot of times I am down on squatties, because we are the ones that are be like, you know, we don't want them going after our faves. But yet a lot of times in the squad, we are sharing those pictures. And I'm like, if you're sharing those pictures, again, this is a demand industry. If the demand is there, they will go to the ends of the world to get those pictures. And a lot of times they will continue to invade privacy and invade until what happened to Princess Diana. We have to take our responsibility as to what we're consuming and what we're sharing, you know? So that's my thing on that. And anyways, if you haven't seen it, I mean, I'm sure this, you know, we'll have this conversation again, but I'd love to hear your take. Drop it in the comments, drop it in the regular comments. I'd love to hear your take, and we can talk about it maybe the next, you know, finish up talking about it the next episode. But let's do a little bit of a change. We've been talking about this for a while. Let's do back to a little bit of a change, and we will finish this up. Whew, coming down from that. That's heavy. Take a second, breathe out, and we'll come back with something much more pleasant, I would say, to talk about. I think I need to work on my fade out skills there. But anyways, much more pleasant topic. Thank you guys so much who have been donating to Sentibali, to the Sussex Squad fundraiser. As you can see, and this is from today. I mean, I'm sure this from earlier today, so I'm sure it's up, you know, more than that now. But we are over $31,201. So thank you all so much who have supported, donated, shared, whatever way that you supported the fundraiser. Thank you. Again, it's going until Harry's birthday on September 15th. So we have a lot of fun stuff to share when they're in the UK, no matter how we feel about it. They'll be there. There's a lot of, lot to look forward to with them. And so, again, thank you so much. Oh, thank you, Raven. You're so encouraging. She's like, oh, I like the new fade music. Yeah, good. Someone else told me in the regular comments, they're like, you need different music. I was like, I don't know, I'll try or find something else too, but thank you so much. I think, a little change music is good there, but thank you, Raven. But anyways, guys, continue giving, continue supporting. Again, it goes until September 15th. And yeah, I can't wait to see what the total amount is going to be at the end. It'll just be exciting to be able to support to really celebrate this on Harry's birthday. So yes, so let's see final thoughts before we go like in the chat for a second. Fancy Wilson, I didn't take anything from Fancy today. Let's see. And then we also have a Fancy. So it's Fancy Wilson and Fancy. We have 2 Fancies, so that's awesome. And we have 2 Karens. Awesome. Let's see. Fancy says it was all. It also showed that people never change. They can still. They are still doing the same thing today. They believe false stories. Sadly, that is the truth. But as we can only keep saying the truth, and hopefully someone will believe it, and someone will start understanding and believing the truth. We can only hope, right? We can only hope. Janet Alexander. Hi, Janet. I didn't think I called on you today. Let's see. Thank you, Janet. Janet says, Petal, thank you for your passion and enthusiasm for sharing about our prince and princess. Our prayers continue to go out for them. Blessings. Yes. A lot of prayers needed for our faves. Thank you, Janet. And all of you prayer warriors out there, your prayers are being heard. And let's keep praying for our faves. Let's see. A couple more before we go. Oh, thank you, Lydia. I want to remind everyone, please like, share, subscribe, and join the channel. We are trying to grow the channel. Please help us do that. Thank you so much, Lydia, awesome moderator that is there. Thank you. Let's see a couple more people. Patricia says, Reuters just released a presser on Harry and Meghan's visit to the UK. Oh, thanks. I guess I'll see whatever it is they say when I get off of here. Since we've been here, obviously we're not on Twitter, so we'll see what they say, and we could talk about it tomorrow. Let's see. One more before we head out and jump over to Baron. Let's see. Last comment before we go. One last comment. Give me one last comment, guys. Let's see. Before we jet out of here. I didn't notice. Let's see. Betty says, some years ago, there was a documentary on Margaret, apparently called A Servant to Hold Out His Hand, and he was thinking she was giving him something. She flicked cigars in his... Oh, my goodness. Really? Oh, my Lord. I've heard that Margaret was a bit of a pill, but that is a little much. My goodness. Ooh. That is, I gotta read up on Margaret. That's intense. Connie, hi. Connie says, the more squatty channels, the better. I'll be there to support. Thank you so much, Connie, and thank you guys so much for supporting us, for supporting all the Sussex channels out there. We definitely need support, as we know that those negative ones have hundreds of thousands of supporters. So the more positive channels out there, the more people would hear the truth a lot, the truth and more positive content, really. So thank you guys so much for all of your support for this channel, for as we grow it. I appreciate. Please continue. If you haven't subscribed, let me put my little banner to remind you. Thank you, Lydia, for always reminding us. But please subscribe. Please click the notification bell so that you know when we drop a video. You can like and share this video. You can clip it in the bottom. You can clip a minute off and use that minute, and then it'll link back to the episode. Please go ahead and use it. It's there. Thank you guys so much. Please join our channel, our 2 Cents Crew, where you support our channel on a monthly basis. Thank you so much for all of you who are, who support via, as some of you did with the super stickers and super chat and all of that stuff, and the super thanks that you'll find at the bottom of this video. A lot of you support that way. You can also support. We have PayPal, Cash App, we have merchandise, all kinds of ways. Again, none of you are not obligated to any of this, but a lot of you have, out of the kindness of your heart, decided to support us, and I appreciate it. I can never repay you for any of the support you've given, definitely. And also our moderators who do such an incredible job, I can never repay you. So I can only say thank you, thank you, thank you. I would be forever grateful for all the support that you have shown us, and the love and the care. Thank you guys for feeling ownership of the channel to help me to make it a better experience for everyone. I appreciate your comments and all of those things. Thank you, those of you who push back at me and like, Petal, I don't like what you said. I appreciate it. So please do it some more. I appreciate this. I love the going back and forth. So I appreciate that too. So I love the honesty and the rawness of that. So I appreciate the fact that you feel comfortable and safe enough that you can absolutely disagree with what I said and feel fine to tell me about it. So I appreciate you and appreciate that. So thank you guys for hanging out with me for the last couple of hours. Off we go to Barron's. I know a lot of you are jumping over to Barron's. So I will see you over there in a bit. So I love you guys, and I will see you next time. Let's get some music, some inner space music to take us out. We're going to do a slight fade up here, and hopefully that works. Oh, there we go. Yep, there's our music. There we go. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Lydia, Church Nelly, Karen Ann, Cookies and Cream, Joyce. Thank you so much for your awesome moderating. And I will see you guys next time. I love you, my awesome Sussex community. See you next time. Bye.